We're in Ruby Hill Park right now at Levitt Pavilion Denver. It's a 10-acre amphitheater located in the heart of Denver. We work on a mission to increase access to the arts, and we do that through a couple of different avenues. And one is the easy piece. It's to make the shows free. In addition, we partner with Live Nation and put on an admission-based series as well. The second side of this is we want to make sure that we continue to have a vibrant and healthy arts and culture scene in Denver, and that we can attract musicians that can cut their chops here and then raise their families here and stay here long term. It's vitally important that we create these spaces that are not just for-profit spaces, that don't just exist to pay money to artists that take it out of the state, but to produce shows for our local artists and make sure that they're being paid a fair wage for the work that they're doing. Year over year, there's been a tremendous amount of growth in live music. 2020 was supposed to be this major breakthrough year. Almost everybody was on tour, venues were filled up, our projections were looking really, really strong, and then COVID hit, and it all fell apart. It was a struggle all year. Our revenues were down about 73%. I'm one of the lucky ones. A lot of my friends were down 90% or 100%. Most of these individuals work at other venues too across the state. So they're 1099 contractors, and they're depending on all of these venues to be open to make a living. A group of us got together and formed NEVA, the National Independent Venue Association, and I shifted my work to fighting for the survival of the industry. And we were able to get a $15 billion Save Our Stages bill passed through Congress in December. Most of our venues across this state are in peril. They need this relief funding so they can continue to operate. And, it's a chicken and the egg thing. We have artists and we have venues. And artists aren't being paid because venues aren't open, and venues can't be open because of the health crisis. So, the Save Our Stages Act that we passed truly will save this industry. It will help us get to when we can reopen at least 70% capacity again. And 70% capacity is a key mark for this industry. That's where we make money. Anything less than 70% capacity is either a break-even proposition or we're losing money. I'm not looking at the current dial-in restrictions because I'm not opening next week. I'm looking at the state's projections for when I am open in May. So at that point in time, outdoor venues should be at about 60% of capacity based off of 6-foot social distancing. So a venue like this, that's 3,600 patrons. Then there's other pieces to it. How do you get them in the venue and out of the venue safely? How do you set up your food and beverage systems and your restroom systems and your security and all of these ancillary components? And there's going to be a lot of consumer education that goes along with that. When you come to a show initially this year, you're going to be forced to sit in pods. There's 3 sections. There's this lower section, and then there's the upper south section and the upper north section. And there'll be lines that are kind of drawn this way that are giant boxes, and then inside there will be individual boxes with markers where you can't sit. I think in the beginning you're going to see more regional and local artists, and as the year unveils itself, you're going to see more of the national touring musicians. But, a core component to what we do is to introduce Coloradans to Colorado music. And, what better place to be introduced to that than sitting on a beautiful lawn on a blanket with your loved ones, enjoying a fresh cold beverage.